The 12-day strike by FlySafair pilots is now over. The airlines confirmed that the industrial action has officially come to an end following the signing of a formal agreement between airline management and labour union Solidarity today. In a statement, FlySafair says all its aircraft will return to active duty with schedules being normalised. Now, in terms of the settlement, pilots will receive at least one 60-hour weekend off during each 6-week cycle, with a minimum of 9 weekends off per year. They'll also be allowed to exchange shifts among themselves. On remuneration, pilots will receive a salary increase of 6% in the first year, followed by 6.5% the following year. The pilots will be entitled to another increase, just under 7% in the last 2 years of the deal. And joining us now is Kirby Gordon, Chief Marketing Officer at FlySafair. Good afternoon and welcome to On Point.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Juliet.
You must be terribly relieved.
We are. It's a great day. It's wonderful to have this all behind us now and to look forward to building together and continuing to do the good work that we've managed to achieve over the last 10 years and to take that forward into the future.
Can you elaborate on specific terms of the agreement reached at least with Solidarity that ended the pilot strike, and how these terms benefit both the pilots and FlySafair?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think speaking to that balance is the most important thing. Obviously, we're looking for an opportunity that would balance both the lifestyle needs and the needs of the pilots generally with the sort of long-term sustainability of the company. And it was a long process to get there. It was a long journey to walk, but I think we finally reached that. I think you summarized the outcomes quite nicely. In year one, we're looking at a 6% increase, which was a movement from the 5.7% mark that was originally offered. And that's now a 4-year agreement, which with those escalations over time. And then obviously the qualification or the finalization of those guaranteed weekends in the roster system, and several other sort of minor details, which, we can speak to, but I don't think are particularly interesting. They're quite technical aviation elements with the rest of the roster in hand.
Now, how quickly does FlySafair expect to fully restore its flight schedules?
So it will ramp up as of next week. At this stage, we already have a somewhat reduced flight schedule loaded for next week. And we do need a little bit of a gap just to make sure that we can realign all of the pilots back onto the roster that we have and ensure that everything syncs up properly and that everybody's various cycles are adhered to. And then we'll see an increase in some of the flights coming in as early as Friday next week. And then by the 12th, we'll be up to full schedule.
Now, what steps is FlySafair taking to address any lingering customer concerns or disruptions caused by the strike, particularly regarding fare stability and booking confidence?
So I think at this stage, what's really important in the long run is obviously working off of the back of what we've already achieved and then, effectively putting actions into place rather than words. So for the vast majority of the bookings that were, changed as a result of these schedule changes, that's already been done and was done long in advance. So at this stage, we won't be touching anything. We'll try and maintain those and ensure that they go forward. In terms of our operating schedule, even through the strike phenomenon, last week, the on-time performance was well over 94%. So the operations are strong and they do continue in the sort of FlySafair flavor. And from this point forward, it's really just about continuing to own and build upon that trust.
I always wonder about when we have these CCMA situations or, disagreements between the employer and the employees. I always wonder about what's left of the relationship. What do you think FlySafair can do to strengthen your relationship with the staff after the strike?
Judith, that's, I think, one of the most fundamental points and a really interesting question to speak to, because it is really a big part of it. When these kinds of disagreements take place, as they do, they can be very polarizing. It's very difficult. It's very difficult for everyone. It's for incumbent employees that are here, for those that are striking. And I think what we've tried to maintain through this whole process is just an understanding and a respect. I mean, the reality is that no party chooses to be in the situation that they were in. It's really a matter that you do out of a very deep feeling and a very deep kind of a conviction to what it is that you stand for. And, if we can continue and did through the process of the negotiation, respect that about one another's stance, you really have, I think, an opening for healing in the long run. And that's certainly the focus going forward, is to really put it down on the table to say, look, everyone had to stand for what they believe is right. Ultimately it was a negotiation, and we need to move past that and find a way now to keep working together, to be the strong team that we've always been, and to be that team in the future.
And lastly, what strategies is FlySafair implementing to maintain its commitment to affordable air travel, obviously while recovering from the operational and financial impacts of the strike?
Also very, very key along the way. We are very conscious of maintaining our cost base. That's very key to us. So, that optimization and utilization is a phenomenal element that plays into that. And so far, I think that, there's nothing fundamental that's shifted on that basis. We'll continue to do the good work that we do, continue to optimize our operations and ensure that we can, manage our customers with a high level of service at that low cost, and keep moving forward, trying to move as many South Africans as we possibly can.
Thank you so much for chatting to us this afternoon, and that's really good news that the strike is now over. Thank you. That was Kirby Gordon, Chief Marketing Officer at FlySafair, and the news that the pilot strike is officially over.